Are you a dreamer? Some may say being a dreamer is a negative. You've got your head in the clouds. You're not practical, realistic, or grounded. But some, no matter how good their intentions, are quite arguably wrong. Being a dreamer is a great thing. Being a dreamer is an inspired thing. Being a dreamer means you have the imagination to create, build, and change not only yourself, but the world. Because you dreaming means you are connecting to the divine. You are connecting to your spirit. I always say you wouldn't dream of something if it wasn't meant for you. So keep dreaming and don't let anyone stand in the way of your biggest dreams. Let's talk about it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Intentional Living with Courtney Myers. I'm your host, the founder and creator of The Intentional Home and Living. And today we are dreaming big. We are talking all about being a dreamer. Now, a lot of times when someone calls us a dreamer, they're actually not giving us a compliment. It's kind of a put down, like your head is in the clouds and you're not realistic about your life, the world, or whatever it is for that matter. I was called a dreamer not too long ago, a couple months ago. And at first I was a little bit offended because I don't believe what I'm doing or what my husband is working on or anything that is going on in my life is some pipe dream, is some big picture that we cannot obtain or create. But in this scenario, when I was being called a dreamer, it was in an attempt to somehow bring me back to this reality that others may see for me or see for us. And so, like I said, I did take some offense to this, but once I was able to step back and kind of sit with it for a moment and talk it through with my mentor, I realized being a dreamer is an amazing thing. Being a dreamer is a great thing. I have been a dreamer my entire life. I can visualize, I can imagine, I see things in ways that others don't necessarily see them. And that is wonderful. I read a quote this morning from Gabby Bernstein saying that if it's within you to imagine it, it's God's intention for you to create it. It goes along with the things that I usually say. If you can dream it, it is meant for you and only you. That is your journey. That is your path. So if someone on the outside is calling you a dreamer or can't see what you see, there's no wonder. It's not their dream. It's not their journey. It's not their path. I keep returning to this concept of how we are conditioned from childhood into adulthood to lose some of that imagination, to lose some of that magic, to lose that ability to dream big. And I think it is really just a societal construct to keep us in our place, to have this structure of life of how things are supposed to work out. I know I continue to say this time and time again, but I think we need to break free. I think it is time to allow our imaginations to run more. It is time for us to open up our dreams and our world to something greater. It is time for us to connect back to how we were as children. Bring that magic and fun and wonder back into our lives. We are so constricted by societal norms of what you need to do, what you should do, and how things are supposed to look. And it is really wreaking havoc on all of our lives. And dreaming is at the core of all of this. The minute you stop dreaming is, in a way, the minute you're giving up on your spirit and your soul, because that is how you connect. That is one of the ways your intuition and your spirit and your soul speak to you, through visualizations, through your imagination, through dreams. That is the voice of your spirit speaking to you. So if you turn that side of you off, you are just disconnecting yourself from your source. You are disconnecting yourself from your purpose. You are disconnecting yourself from what you were put on this earth to do, your uniqueness. And that is why no one's dreams are ever going to be the same. And that is also why I hear people like Steve Harvey, who is extremely spiritual and who is extremely insightful, say things like, don't share your dreams with others. Don't share your dreams with people outside of you, because a lot of the times they are going to shut those down. They are going to try and bring you back to reality, their reality, what they perceive is a reality that you should be following, because they won't understand your dreams. They're not their dreams, they're your dreams. No one is going to understand your big picture, your big dream besides you. That is why it is yours. Now, I'm not just talking about dreams when you're sleeping, which is a great way to tap into your dreams if you remember your dreams, to wake up in the morning and write them down or say them out loud so that you can kind of bring them into your waking world. Every morning, I ask my daughter when she wakes up, how did she sleep and did she have any good dreams? I love to hear what she comes up with. My daughter's dreams are wild. They are fascinating. For the longest time, she would always tell me her dreams were about elephants and water and these magical worlds. Lately, they've been about whatever character she has concocted in her head. And it is just really fascinating, fun, and imaginative. It brings me back to my childlike self. It brings me back to being open to these great possibilities that just swarm in children's heads that we don't necessarily always tap into as adults. But I'm not only talking about dreaming in this sense. I'm talking about the bigger picture a lot of the time. Your hopes, your dreams, your desires, everything you want to create in your world and your life. Whether that be a mansion on a hill or a vacation on a beach, it doesn't really matter. If it's in your head, if it's something you desire and something you can close your eyes and dream of, or you can think about and you can see, then it is something for you. It is something that you should strive for, and it is something that you need to tap into. What do you think Steve Jobs did when he created all the Apple products? It was in his imagination that those came about. People told him he was a dreamer, that was impossible. And look how much these things have changed our world. I actually heard recently on another podcast, and I can't remember which inventor they were speaking of, but he would allow himself, it was someone like Thomas Edison or Albert Einstein, an extremely well-known scientist, and he would allow himself to close his eyes and almost fall asleep just to tap into his dream state so that he could imagine all these wonderful new inventions or progressions for society. Those two examples alone should tell you how important dreaming is. Things that change the world, people who change the world are dreamers. They are people who allow themselves to see more than what is visible to the naked eye, see more than what is just in front of them, see more than what is the status quo or the norm. They want to push the limit. They want to go beyond what is available to them in the here and now and develop or create or build something that has never been seen or done before. That is the key to invention, is dreaming it. Things don't just happen. They are downloads. They are dreams. They are connections to the spirit dropped into the soul and brought into life by people willing to take the steps forward, by people willing to set their imagination free and take risks in going after their dreams. So next time someone calls you a dreamer, don't get offended like I did. Say thank you. It is a compliment. It is so rare to be a dreamer, I feel like, in this day and age, or at least be an open dreamer, that if someone sees that in you, then they are seeing the divine in you. And that alone is magical. That alone is miraculous. That alone is an amazing thing. That means you are tapped in. That means you are connected. That means you are a beacon for spirit and you can do something amazing in this world. And your dreams don't even have to be so completely out there. It truly can be something seemingly normal, like creating a happy, loving family of your own. That is an amazing dream. I know for the longest time, that was my most sacred dream, is to create my own family. And I did. But my dreams don't stop there. They keep going. So how do you tap into your dreamer potential? How do you tap into your dreams? If you are not already someone you would consider a dreamer, or you are not already skilled in the art of visualization and imagination, there are some ways that you can start to exercise your dreamer muscles. And I think it's really important that you do, because it will open up your world in ways that you obviously can't even imagine because you're not tapping into it now. Here are some things that I've always done that have really helped me hone my imagination and that have really stood out as being dreamer-like skills. One great way to start to tap into your dreamer mentality is to open a book and visualize yourself as a character within it. As a child growing up, actually my whole life, I have been fascinated by books. I couldn't get my nose out of a book. And it wasn't just reading the words on the page. I would actually visualize myself in the book, whether I made myself the main character and I could feel all the feels and go through their journey in the book, or I could see it play out in front of me almost as if it were a movie. It's maybe one of the reasons why I like books usually more than the movies, because I like to imagine it for myself. Another great way to tap into your dreaming potential is if you have access to young children, to play make-believe with them. My daughter has really gotten into that lately. She has her 2 dolls and they speak to each other and they play nonstop. I know growing up, I was obsessed with my little Barbies. I would wake up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning and go straight to our little playroom and play with Barbie and Ken and their little family all the time. Make-believe, pretending is a great way to exercise your imagination. And when you exercise your imagination, you open yourself up to more dreams. You open yourself up to more possibilities. You allow your energy, your field, your spirit, everything about you know that you are open for business, that you are okay going down this path, that you are ready to take on more scenarios, more imaginations, more visualizations. A third way that is really great to tap into your dreams and to your dreaming potential is to actually try to remember your dreams from the night before. The easiest way to do that is right when you wake up, grab a pen and paper and write down what you thought. When you're in this fuzzy space, when you're not totally awake, where you're not totally coherent, write down everything that comes to mind. Because whether you believe you're a dreamer or not in your waking state, you are a dreamer in your sleeping state. That is when everyone, and I mean everyone, connects a lot of the time to the spiritual realms. It's when your subconscious can take over. It's when all your constrictions of your daily human life are removed. It's when you can open yourself up to new possibilities. Now, dreams can be fascinating. They can be weird. They can be crazy. There's a lot of different interpretations what dreams mean. And that's a really fun thing to do. Also, when you do remember any dreams that you have from the night before, is to look up their meaning or their potential. But even better, just tap into your own intuition and try to understand what they mean to you. And finally, one last way to start to open yourself up to your dreams is to automatic write. I've talked about automatic writing before. It's a form of journaling where you aren't actually thinking about what you are writing on the paper. You start just writing, whether it's a list or a scribble or whatever. You hold your pen loosely and you just let it move across the paper. When you do this, your spirit will start to take over and you will start to write things that you may not even be thinking in your conscious mind. And if you go back and read these, a lot of the times you will see little nuggets of dreams or hopes or desires that you may have suppressed. So open yourself up, be aware, sit down with that intention in mind when you are writing, that you want to tap into your inner dreams, things that you may have pushed down deep, things you may have forgotten. What's really sad to me is when we don't acknowledge our dreams, when we don't start to go after our dreams. So many of us have missed out on some amazing things in life because we are unwilling to let our dreams come forward. We push them down for a safe path because we don't want to take risks in life, because we don't want to get uncomfortable. Getting uncomfortable and taking risks is what makes life magical. Getting uncomfortable and taking risks is what will propel you forward to live your best life. If you are always taking the safe path, if you are always taking the safe route, you are going to find yourself having a sense of discontent. There's always going to be something under the surface that just isn't sitting right. There's a clip I keep coming across on Instagram right now where Jim Carrey is talking in a commencement speech. And he's talking about the fact that his dad had always wanted to be a comedian, but took the safe route and became an accountant. He never was fulfilled in his life. He didn't get to experience what his true desires were. And at the end of the day, that safe route wasn't even safe at all. His dad still lost his job as an accountant and struggled. The gist of this story is go after your dreams because you can fail taking the safe route. You can have hardship in the safe route just as much as you can on the dreamer route. But with the dreamer route, you are going to find a sense of fulfillment. You are going to find a sense of joy. You are going to find a sense of connection to who you really are and your purpose in life. You are going to follow the path of your soul and your dreams. Way too many of us don't do this. Way too many of us settle for a mediocre life. Way too many of us settle for the status quo, what is expected of us, and what is the norm. And that is depressing. Don't be one of those people. Be amazing. Be great. Be a creator. Be a changer. Level up and take the risks to follow your dreams. That doesn't mean be unrealistic in the way you go after them. You may have to do things that are of the norm or that are more difficult along the way of trying to achieve your dreams, but don't give up on them. Don't stop on them. Whatever you do, always keep your dreams in mind when you're doing anything. Always work towards them. Always have them as your fuel, as your catalyst for whatever you're doing. Whether you're bagging groceries, waiting tables, or working as a CEO of a top company, don't forget your dreams. You could be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but your dream may be to be an artist. That doesn't mean you have to quit being the CEO of the Fortune 500 company, but start painting. Make sure you continue to do your art, because if you stay true to your dreams, they will bring about joy and happiness in your life. They will help you change your world and the world of all those around you. Your dreams are worth chasing. So that is my intention for you this week, to tap into your dreams. If you are not already a person who is tapped into their imagination, their visualization, or their ability to dream and see and recognize their dreams, then try to use some of the tools we discussed earlier to get in the habit of recognizing your dreams, to get in the habit of letting in the divine so that you can create a magical world of your own. If you are on the other side and you are extremely aware of your dreams, then what I want you to do is start making moves toward them. Stop pushing them away, bring them forward, voice them to yourself. Don't necessarily share them with others unless you have someone that is extremely trustworthy, or someone, as my mentor calls, your seeing eyes, someone that is supportive and believes you and what you are working towards. And start to breathe life into these dreams. Start to bring them into your energetic world, whether that's by vision boarding, journaling, writing, or taking physical steps to work towards them. If your dream is to become a best-selling author, then take the time to start writing. You may not even know what book you want to write yet. Just start somewhere. I have finished one book. I know it's not the first book that I want to put out there, but I've started and it's done. And because of that, I have book number 2 already in me. I have book number 3 already in me. I have book number 4, 5, and 6 already in me. It's just a matter of sitting down and doing it. So this week, whether you are an active dreamer already or you are an aspiring dreamer, tap in. Start to hone in on your dreams. Start to work toward your dreams and start to bring them into your reality. Your true inner self will thank you for it. You will start to feel this fire and energy bubble from within. You won't be able to deny it. I promise you. So with that, I'm going to leave you this week to dream big. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Intentional Living with Courtney Myers. Remember, new episodes drop every Wednesday on Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon Music. And as always, please check out The Intentional Home and Living at CourtneyMyers.com, CourtneyMeyers. That's where you'll find all the information for breathwork sessions, intention setting sessions, coaching sessions, and so much more. And also follow us on social media where you'll get all the announcements of everything going on in the intentional world. I can't wait. In the next couple weeks, we're going to be having some guests on the show to start bringing in new voices and to learn and grow together. I'm really excited. I'm working on a couple of different conversations and interviews. We're just in the booking stages, so stay tuned for that. Like I said, we will announce it all on social media as it's coming up. Thank you once again, and I will talk to you next week.